All right, guys. I was feeling like checking out another Sofia Isella. So everybody supports women is what this one is called. Um, let's get right into it, man. Or let's get right into it, women. I don't know.
Everybody supports women until a woman's doing better than you. Everybody wants you to love yourself until you actually do. It was something about her hair so perfectly fallen. She was nice and smart and funny and got everything she wanted. She just charity. Isn't that the most obnoxious thing you've heard? Her popularity. She's too pretty for her own good. She's probably self-centered. We hate her and she's nothing. If everybody leaves her, then she had it coming.
That's interesting. So she has these cut up female mannequins on the flight in all of the seats, and they're right next to her. And in the opening line is everybody supports women until one's doing better than you. And then another one kind of referring to like competition of like um let's just keep going here. I won't talk too much yet. And yeah, I am trying to mansplain this video to any of my viewers. No, I'm really just, this is I'm trying to let you guys know what I'm picking up, so that I can kind of go off of that basis. And if there's any, like, obviously if I'm missing something, please fill me in. You guys have been great with that.
Is there anything you'd like to put on the record? While everyone is listening.
I would like it to be known that I'm not like her. I'm mocking her because I'm not like her. I'm not like those girls who are not like those girls. I love doing makeup. I don't mock women like her. I'm not like her. As soon as she hits it, I'm kicking her out. She's had enough of the love and I'm bringing her down. Everyone together on the count of 3. 1, 2. You're mundane. We agree. Your ambition is swallowable if you tell the story right. Say that you hate yourself and self-criticize. But if we smell desperation...
Wait, I missed that. I'm going to go back because there's like so much happen. Like visually, there's so much happening, and then sonically, and then also lyrically, there's like so much happening right now. I don't want to miss too much, but...
Swallowable if you tell the story right. Say that you hate yourself and self-criticize. But if we smell desperation on your neck and face, we'll drag you across your own public stage.
Anything with her name attached. Her newspapers in the trash.
So
I just keep thinking
now. What a waste. What a shame. I was starting to like her, but now she got gray. We'd never hate her to her face, but I hope she knows. She knows, she knows, she knows. I don't like your tone. I don't like how much you've grown. It's so boring to not be yanking muscle off of a woman's bone. Everybody hates the everyone hates the unrelatable. And I love to place 2 of them in the arena of the public's eye and try and get them to fight about something dumb. And we pick sides, cause staring at her too long made our life look like muted pastels. We'll love you if you just make us feel better about ourselves. And what a waste, what a shame. I was starting to like her, but now she got gray. We'd never hate her to her face, but I hope she knows, she knows.
So you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this, like I feel like what's kind of being communicated is like the women against women hatred. Now, like, you could go with the traditional, like misogyny kind of a thing. But everybody supports women until she's doing better than you. the you in that, there's no gender involved in the you. And throughout this song, I haven't been able to like pinpoint, but you really could draw the conclusion that, and this is something that I've definitely noticed, is competition between women of like whether it's competing for like a job, attention, or being liked in a workplace, or whatever like the social thing is. Women are very I look, if this I don't care. Women are very competitive against other women, and they're very like, they're not as like helpful and supportive. I don't know, when I like when I see like multiple women in a workplace and I see the way that they behave, and like sometimes there's like a lot of talking behind each other's backs about them, about each other. And it kind of goes against this idea of like women empowerment, and like, and now I understand, like, you can't have solidarity with one, like, okay, there's, we have men and women, right? In this like traditionally viewed like dichotomy or whatever, there's men and women. When you have that big of a generalization, you can't assume that there's ever going to be any kind of solidarity between the two. Like, you're talking about what, 3.5 billion people with women, 3.5 just generalizing, 3.5 billion men. Like, you're not going to have solidarity. You're always going to have competition, because people have things that they want. And whether you're a man or a woman and you have something that you want, the other men and women are also going to have things that they want. And so I don't necessarily know if like this is what she's referring to per se, but and she even talked about putting two people in an arena and then like seeing which, like, to get them to fight, and then they'll like divide and pick sides. I don't know. A lot of her lyrics are very cryptic, which I like. But I don't know that I'm supposed to draw like an exact meaning to it. But I think when talking about like and once again, I know I'm a man, so like I don't have the experience of living as a woman. But I do think like, the women against women hatred, which sounds weird, but it's real. Like, if you're a woman and you're watching this video, I know for a fact there are women that you despise or at least really dislike. And I know that because I feel that way about different men. But so I feel like in the conversation, like, yeah, misogyny is a real thing for sure. Like, that's an issue we should address. And as a man, like, I can address that within myself. I can address that within my circle of like, hey, let's be respectful or something. It depends. But I can like, I'm kind of involved in like the misogyny world because I'm a man. But I also feel like there's this huge elephant in the room that I don't really hear addressed as much. But it's the women on women, not violence, but like just like whether it's like through gossiping or like social manipulating, or like I've dealt with it, and it's a weird thing, and I really don't like it, and it's really fucking toxic for a workplace. I'll say that too. Like obviously like like the traditional toxic male like violence and aggression, past a certain point, that's not good in the workplace. But like the gossiping and this and that, like communication is an important thing in the workplace, and that's kind of the medium that like the traditional I don't know how many times I'm shooting myself in the foot, but if you're still listening to this, I'm pretty sure I've been talking for way too long, but for me, like women tend to do like more of a social thing, and then men tend to be like, and this isn't everybody, but men tend to be like a little bit more aggressive and confrontational towards each other, or like their style of communication. And I've noticed that like sometimes women tend to be like a little more social, and like it's a lot smarter in my opinion, the way that it's gone about. But not that either behavior is like a good thing per se. I think there's good elements of both like I think there's good elements of masculinity, good elements of femininity. Like there's, because you're born with a certain genitalia does not inherently make you evil. It doesn't inherently make you good or bad. But it is how how do you operate? How do you treat other people? You know, how do you go about dealing with problem solving or confrontation or, you know, a work issue or whatever. So I don't know if that's what Sofia Isella is talking about. And I understand, like, I don't know, man. Maybe if I get big 5-10 years, maybe I'll get like, you know, somebody will like find this video and say like, oh, you isolate a clip and say like, oh, see, he hates women or whatever. I don't know. Who cares? That's out of my control. But I hope you guys kind of understand where I'm going with that. And I kind of get a sense of that here, because there is a, you know, even the opening line, like, everybody supports women until a woman's doing better than you. And you could draw the same thing for like a man, like, you know, like a man's like outwardly like, yeah, you know, of course I support women, this, that, and the third. But then like if a woman got the promotion over him, then all of a sudden he supports women, but not that woman. So I'm not trying to say it's just like one. I feel like it could go both ways, but I do feel like the women versus women thing is not talked about enough when we're talking about, like if you want to progress with like women having the same opportunities in the workplace, it's like, I personally have met a few women who have like kind of tried to sabotage or bad talk somebody else who was like their coworker on the same level, but like there was an opening for a manager, and so there's like this game going on, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy to see in real life. Well, if you haven't, you know, cussed me out in the comments already by now, let's keep going, man.
Oh, she knows what a pain. What you spit her name while she's turned the other side. We never told her to her face, but I think she knows. She knows, she knows, she knows. Everybody supports women till a woman's doing better than you. Everybody wants you to love yourself until you actually do. It was
I will, super quick, I will say on that, everybody wants you to love yourself until you actually do. Man, that could not be truer. I swear to God. Like, if you're somebody who has like so low self-respect, and let's say you work at some job, you know, at a grocery store, right, stocking shelves, and you're you know, you've dealt with whatever issues, you have low self-respect for whatever reason, and you struggle with that. Well, if you stay in like the same environment, but you eventually grow and like gain some kind of self-respect, like you pick up, like you really invest time into your hobby, and you see, you're like, wow, I am actually really good at this, and you grow some sense of self-respect. People are always like, oh, you should be more confident, you should, you know, you should, and I get this too as a man, so don't, like, I'm not trying to, you know, speak down to women at all. You know, I get this as a man where, like, you know, oh, you should be more confident. Like, oh, you should, you have to, like, do it this way. You know, you got to be more. But the second you actually start getting a sense of self-respect, like, you know what? I'm not going to tolerate whatever attitude you have with me, Mr. and Mrs. Coworker. You can go sort that shit out. I'm here to work, okay? I don't have time for this bullshit. As soon as you get that sense of self-respect, it's like all of a sudden they want that old fucking scared human. They want that scared human, because that scared human didn't make them uncomfortable or say, oh shit, I actually have to defend my position because this person respects themselves and they're not going to take that shit. You know, such a powerful line. Such a powerful fucking line. And that's a fascinating, I don't know what that's like for women, but I do know that, especially in the workplace and in business, if a woman advocates for herself and she's assertive and she's good with business, she'll get called a bitch. A man, oh, he's a good businessman. But if a woman does it, oh, she's a bitch. Like, oh, she's just so fucking mean. It's like, well, she's doing the same shit. She's advocating for herself, for her business, for whatever it is. So yeah, I'm not trying to like kiss women's asses here, but I do notice differences in like how they're treated and referred to as. Like if you have a manager, also, just because a manager is like aggressive with you does not make them a good manager. I'll say that first and foremost, okay? I've dealt with micromanagers that are a pain in the ass and they just fucking suck. And they're like, oh no, I'm just being a good manager. It's like, no. You're annoying the fuck out of all of your underlings and they all fucking hate you. That's not effective. I lost my train of thought. Let's go back to the video, guys.
Think about her hair, so perfectly fallen. She was nice and smart and funny and got everything she wanted. She just charities and the most obnoxious thing about her popularity. She's too pretty for her own good. She's probably self-centered. We hate her and she's nothing. If everybody leaves her, then she had it coming. Everybody supports women till a woman's doing better than you. Everybody wants you to love yourself until you actually do. It was something about her hair.
It was something about her hair? Is that like a demonstration of like pettiness? It was something about her hair. Like, I don't know. Yeah, that's a weird line to end the song on. But yeah, I mean, I will. Yeah, there's, and I will say, I don't know that like the criticism. I can't speak on who receives more criticism, but I will say, like, regardless, if you have like a friend group and like you're just kind of average working people and you're just kind of getting by, and then you start really doing things that are good for yourself and you start succeeding, so to speak, whether you're a man or a woman, I do know that like there's criticism, there's like people will like change the way they look at you even, because it's like, oh, you're striving for success. So they kind of have to like justify to themselves why they're staying in a position. And so I feel like that's why you get kind of like these weird things. But I think that's true of all humans. And, I don't know whether or not women receive like more criticism than like if a woman succeeds if a woman gets a management position or a man gets a management position, I don't know like which one is going to receive more criticism or hate because of it. I could see a woman probably getting more potentially, but yeah, fascinating, man. I had my coffee today, ladies and gentlemen, so I do apologize for just running my fucking mouth like a madman or a mad person. But yeah, I had my coffee today. Hopefully I didn't piss anybody off. These are just my thoughts, man. I'm just some random average working class person who wants to do YouTube and not have to break my body to survive. So please don't hate me, but if you do, either way, we're all good. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching my ramblings. Thanks.